All right, in this video, we are going to learn about the watershed. And so we are going to label. You need a red pen also for this video. We're not going to start with the red pen. So we're just going to label each step, okay? If you look here, you're going to see a map. You see a mountain. We see some streams and river. Big body of water. Could be ocean, could be a lake. This arrow here represents water going from a liquid to a gas, which we're going to label as evaporation. And then when water evaporates, it goes from a liquid to a gas. It obviously needs a higher temperature for that to occur. And those water molecules go up into the sky, and then they can form clouds. The formation of clouds we call condensation. So it's where it kind of goes back into a liquid. When that condensation gets too heavy and the water drops get too heavy to be held into the cloud, they fall, and we call this arrow here precipitation. Now, precipitation doesn't always have to be rain. It could be snow, sleet, hail, anything that falls from the sky. These streams and rivers here, okay, we call that surface runoff. A couple words I want you to link. I want you to link the word water shed to that, because it's going to be the next time we talk about. Okay. Two more steps we're going to just kind of label, and then we're going to grab our red pens and kind of add more notes around this diagram. So when you look at this down here, this is water going in to the ground, and this is called infiltration. Okay. And then the last step that we're going to write about, we should make a little flower there. Okay, and I want you to draw an arrow going from the leaf to the atmosphere. I'm going to call that transpiration. Transpiration is evaporation out of a leaf, happens in plants, it's loss of water. Okay, so now I want you to grab your red pen, and basically, this is something you've learned in the 4th grade, so I'm not concerned about you memorizing the water cycle. I'm going to outline what we're going to be talking about. We will talk about precipitation, and we're going to focus on acid rain. So when we talk about acid rain as a pollution, we are going to focus on obviously the precipitation phase of the water cycle. Surface runoff, we're going to talk about a lot. First of all, it's where our watersheds are formed, and we're immediately going to talk about how it is the most polluted. We're going to talk about the word biological magnification. And that's going to be a term that we're going to use for how that pollution gets passed up a food web and why should we not eat certain types of foods. And then also transpiration, when we talk about plants, we're going to talk about it as evaporation out of plants. Out of the leaves. And the reason why that's important to note is because we're actually going to specifically talk about structures that plants have to avoid transpiration from occurring to maintain homeostasis. We know that water is a reactant of photosynthesis. We do not want it to leave the plant. So I wrote down this word, watershed. What does it mean? Okay, so before we write down a definition, I want to go to this website, and I'm going to hit play. And you're going to watch it become more of a topographic map. It's going to outline the topography in red. What you're seeing there is mountain ridges that are control where rainwater goes. Watersheds are wherever our rainwater goes, and it's influenced by the topography of the ground. So what you're looking at here is little streams running into bigger streams, running into rivers. And it's all based on the topography of the ground. So when we look at the big mountain ranges, they control where the water flows, and that's surface runoff. Okay, so if we write in our notes, a watershed is the direction surface runoff goes. So I'm going to just get my pen ready. It's the direction of surface runoff. And it goes small streams run into larger streams, which run into rivers, which run into oceans. Okay, and just like we said before, surface runoff is the most polluted, and that actually is the end of each watershed, which is going to be the oceans, is the most polluted. And when we talk about water pollution and that word biological magnification that we just wrote down, we're going to see that the majority of the fish we're supposed to avoid eating come from the ocean. They don't come from fresh water. So now if we can look at this map here, this map goes over the different major watersheds in our country. And if you look at it, the Appalachian Mountains are here, the Rocky Mountains are over here, and those are the two boundaries for our biggest watershed, which is the Mississippi watershed. Okay, and so we're going to actually bring this map up in class. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in class. Here's another picture of a watershed. And, we're going to be basically answering this question, how can pollution be dangerous to watershed? It's because everything that goes into the watershed goes downstream. One of the things that we're going to talk about on the next page of notes is we all live downstream. And what does that mean? Okay, and so, we're going to talk about how when you have all this pollution upstream, like Indian Point, we live downstream from Indian Point. All that pollution goes into the river, which affects everything that lives downstream from it.